What's good, Green Thumbs? My name is John Moody, and this is the Johnny Learns Gardening YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode of the weekly garden update. I have to apologize, I'm a little behind on things, but I do have some very exciting news. I have a lot more subscribers. So I'll get into it when we go through the garden, and yeah, I'll tell you all about it, show you what I got going on. All right, let's do it. The exciting news is this: I have a few more subscribers. So every year, my family tries to put together a family reunion, and we all work as a team to put everything together. And in our group chat, my dearest uncle, Uncle Jim, he told everybody to check out my YouTube channel. Now, why they haven't checked it out before, we're all Facebook friends, we're all Instagram friends, and if you're not my friend on TikTok, find me on TikTok. But anyway, because of him and his word of mouth, he told his brothers and sisters to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So yeah, I have like 6 more subscribers. Hi aunties, hi uncles. This is what I got going on. Now, a little more explanation. This was my very first garden bed that I made 3 years ago, 4 years ago, however many years ago, about that. But yeah, usually this is filled with all types of plant life. And I tried to be a little more conservative. I tried to be a little more planning. And my plan for this year was for this particular bed to be all root vegetables, meaning onions, carrots, radishes, beets, and yeah, I've tried growing garlic in the past, but I was unsuccessful. I would like to eventually start growing ginger, but haven't gotten there yet. Well, in life, things don't go according to plan. I do have some radishes that are actually ready to be harvested. Once they start peeking out from the ground, they are ready. Now I forget which variety of radishes these are, but looks like I have 3 big radishes. Actually, I think they're called watermelon radishes. And this big guy here is my second year carrot. And the reason why I let it go to the second year is because this is the only time you can get the flowers. And after the flowers are finished being flowers, they turn into seeds. And the idea is I can harvest my own seeds, so I'll never have to buy carrots seeds ever again. And yeah, if anybody's interested in purchasing, hit me up. My beets are coming in. I don't know why they're so small or why they're so behind, but at least they're coming in. Now I've planted many different types of radishes. I've planted carrots, and I don't see anything coming up, and I don't know why. For my birthday, the kids got me some seeds, and I tried to plant some lettuce right here, but nothing's coming up. I don't know why. And because I was trying to plan ahead and trying to be ready and trying to do too much, because that's me, not according to plan, I had to place these plants somewhere. So these are a type of melon. To be honest with you, I'm not sure which is which. I'll go through the rest with you. But this is either a watermelon or a cantaloupe. Same with that. Same with that. Same with that. And same with that. So this year is going to be the year of the melons. And in these little pots, it's a tomato plant, another melon, and cucumbers. So, quick story about cucumbers. My very first year, I did great. I had 2 plants and I produced a whole bunch of cucumbers. The years after that, nothing. I tried and nothing happened, and I don't know why. So, this year, I planted so many cucumbers. So, anyway, I'll go through it. And in this corner, this is my hardy kiwi plant, and what a journey it has been on. When I first got it, I didn't think anything would happen, but it grew into this. Unfortunately, it needs a partner it needs a partner in order to reproduce. So I'm not going to be getting any kiwis until I find him a friend. I did buy him a friend this year, but she didn't make it. Look at her, the poor thing. So maybe next year. Back to the first bed. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I took a picture. I will Google it and I'll get back to you. I'm probably going to pull it. It's probably some weed. Right next to the kiwi plant is this cucumber plant. And I've already harvested one decent sized cucumber. I had it hanging over the edge, and I've learned that if you harvest frequently, it will produce more cucumbers. So, what's up, bruh? I need some more cucumbers. And in these little pots, I usually have some herbs going. This is my mint. I have not planted mint seeds in maybe 2 years. It just keeps coming back. So that's the cool thing about mint. Looks like I have some things growing in, but they're still so young. I don't know what they are. Kind of looks like parsley, but then I don't know what those are. They look different. Maybe I'm just weird and whatever. And then other weeds might be growing in. And then I have no idea what this is. I should take a picture and Google it. But usually they're too young for Google to tell. But yeah, we shall see. Here's another tomato plant. I don't know which variety. I do know that I have some beefsteaks coming and some cherry tomatoes coming. Which one's which? Only time will tell because I did not label them like how I was supposed to. But right next to them, more herbs. So if that was parsley, this must be cilantro. Yeah, looks like cilantro. My basil's doing great. I have a lot of basil, not only in these pots, but also spread throughout the garden. This was a blueberry plant that was holding on for a couple years, but this is the first year that it doesn't look like it's holding on at all. So it looks like I'm gonna have to do a redo for my blueberry plant. This is probably marigold. I harvested a lot of marigold seeds. So if anybody wants any marigold seeds, let me know. And the lavender. Auntie Melissa, I'm very sorry. Melissa Moody. She said she wanted some lavender, and you can have what I got. I just didn't know what to expect, and I was just happy that it bloomed. So this is the first year the lavender has bloomed. Last year it actually grew into these green things. The year before that, nothing. Previous years, nothing. But yeah, they were pretty for a little while. Now they look a little dried out. I don't know. Here's a couple other cucumber plants. And I did a quick short this morning about pollinating them. I haven't posted it yet, but I will. And what can I tell you about these cucumber plants? So far, they're not producing very many cucumbers. And there are some techniques for pruning that I should practice, but I don't know. I'm a little weary because in the past, my very first year, when I talked about how good the cucumbers did, I watched some video about pruning, and after I pruned it, they didn't do very well. So now I'm reluctant to prune it. But real quick, while I'm thinking about it, there are male flowers and female flowers on the cucumber plant. For the most part, from what I'm seeing, it looks like there are mostly male flowers. How you can tell is behind the flower, there will look like a little cucumber. So that is a female, and the ones without the little cucumber behind it are the males. So what you're supposed to do is take the pollen from the male cucumber or male flower and put it into the female flower. And how you do that is with a tiny paintbrush. So I'll upload the short. You guys can check it out. It's just going to be music, but yeah. This kind of broke my heart. This is my raspberry bush. And last year I got all of this plant growth, but no berries. This year I actually started growing berries. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and they looked pretty good. I don't know if I'm just not knowing what to look for, but I didn't do anything, and now it looks like they're all dried out and died. So better luck next year. Here's another tomato plant, Kirk. Probably a cherry tomato plant. And in this little tire bed that I got, some more birthday gifts. The picture on the seed packet, these were very pretty blue flowers. I forget the name. I'll go back to it. And then I planted a marigold there. I did plant a sunflower. I don't know why I can't get sunflowers going. Yeah, flowers bring the pollinators so that I don't have to do the paintbrush thing. And speaking of flowers, I have sunflowers, but yeah, not as much as you'd think with all this growth, huh? Eventually they'll come in, but yeah, those are my wildflowers. Zoom. Moving on to the second bed. So this is the raised garden bed that I built second, thanks to Auntie Melissa and Uncle Jarrell. They gave me these brick things, and I just put them together in a big rectangle and filled it with dirt and planted plants. So this is what I got. So in this bed, I'm doing the Three Sisters method. Three Sisters method is corn, squash, and beans. So they're all supposed to work together. They all complement each other. They all, yeah. Um, I got some corn coming in, so that's cool. The others are still a little behind, so hopefully they catch up soon, but I should have a decent amount of corn. And in previous years, aunties and uncles, my green beans have been crazy. Like, I just didn't realize how many beans that these plants produce. And so, yeah, same thing, guys. I'm gonna have a lot of green beans. The zucchini, same thing. First year, they did great. After that, not so much. So I was determined to do better. And last year was okay, but this year I wanted more zucchini. So it looks like I have a couple plants, just a couple, and hopefully they give me lots of squash. Over here are the potatoes. So last year was my first time growing potatoes. Check out that video with Amelia and Ben when we harvested them. We must have missed some because I did not plant any of these. And yeah, looks like I'm gonna have a lot of potatoes. And out of all the marigold seeds that I planted, it's interesting which random ones pop up, but there's some more marigold flowers coming in. Anything else down here? No, I have to do some weeding. There's another marigold down there. I've tried to plant them in the corners. They're supposed to deter pests as well as attract pollinators. Auntie Sheila, who asked that question. Same thing, not sure what those are. It's like if they're weeds, I want to pull them, but if there's something else, I don't want to pull them. So I guess I have to wait a little bit. Some things I know I need to pull, but what these are, I don't know. I'm probably going to pull them. Oh, look, another melon plant. It's getting bigger. This one was taking a while, but now it's coming along. Right next to it is the snap peas. I had a couple other plants coming in, but I think when I transplanted them, they died. So I planted this one, and it's coming along. Looks like another tomato plant next to it. This is so random. This is not what I intended. Things do not go according to plan. Another tomato plant. This is definitely a beefsteak. Same thing. There are some things that I could do to prune, but I'm reluctant. Number one, I heard that you can actually produce more tomatoes if you don't prune them. The whole purpose of pruning is to keep things neat. And we all know how neat I am. So the goal is to get as much fruit and produce and vegetables as possible. So I'm just going to let it fly, see what happens. Now, when you don't prune it, you walk into all of this where they're all kind of growing into each other. But yeah, I'll talk about that next after I show this. So another tomato plant. Another tomato plant. This one looks like he's a goner. We'll see if I can bring him back. Keep a mental note of the ghost face tomato. And then there's a little basil in there. This one's another tomato plant. Not doing so great, but same thing, we'll see. Ooh, a jalapeno plant. Same thing, jalapenos produce a lot of peppers. Last year was my first year growing jalapenos, and I only had 2 or 3 plants, and I had so many jalapenos. Let me know if you guys want some jalapenos, because that's one. This is the newest garden bed I made this year. Well, bought it from Temu and put it together. So yeah, I made it. I have another jalapeno plant, another tomato plant, another tomato plant. This bed, my plan was to only grow lettuce. You see how great my plans went. But looks like I have some lettuce trying to make it, but it's being overshadowed by the other stuff. And yeah, there's another tomato plant, and I think a couple other melon plants are coming out of this bed. And back here, I don't know what that is. It kind of looks like a cucumber plant. But yeah, this is my problem. When I only had these 2 beds or even that one bed, I tried to do too much with what little I had. So my big idea was to expand and then use the containers. But what do? I still kind of overcrowd things. So this is not the most ideal situation, but it is what it is. And this is what I have going on. So in these containers, I have more melons and cucumbers. And without me even realizing it, I think I saw a video saying how melons and cucumbers are a good companion plant. If anybody knows any better, let me know in the comments. Oh, look, did I already point that out? Another jalapeno plant. It's already starting to flower. I say that as all my cucumbers and melons are flowering. But yeah, it's interesting seeing how different things develop. But very important to keep things off the ground. That's what all this crap is for. And I'm excited to announce that out of all of this, I'm finally starting to get a melon growing. Shoo fly. So that's one. Now, decisions, decisions, decisions. Look, another melon coming in. Yeah, there's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 79, 10, 11 melon plants in these buckets, as well as 3 or 4 cucumber plants. But help me decide, guys. I've watched videos about growing watermelon, and same thing with the pruning. You can either try to go for multiple melons or try to go for big melons. So, what do we like? Size or quantity? I guess I could try all different types of ways because I have all these plants. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. I value your opinion. Sorry, the kids are still asleep. That's why they are not in this video. They're on the summertime schedule, and it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. So they should be up any minute. But I wanted to knock this out with as little distraction as possible. I think I even have some footage from before that I need to put together and post. But anyway, that will be all for today. Thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, take care now. Bye bye then. See you at the reunion. Thanks for subscribing. Share it with your friends. Bye. Love you.